Alrighty, good to speak with the both of you again. Antonio, you owe me a rap the next time I see you.
Yes, I know. I owe you. I owe you a rap the next time I see you. I got you. I will split a 16 for you. I got you.
All right, I guess we shall get right to it. It was announced earlier today that Raising Kanan got renewed for its fourth season. How are both of you feeling about this?
I'm hyped. I'm
I'm ready,
always
man.
every time we get a new season, I am ecstatic. So
It's a blessing, especially coming off of this strike, man. You know what I mean, it's a blessing to be able to go back to doing what we all kind of love with people that we love doing it with. Um, yeah, man, I'm just ready for that camaraderie again and seeing the people that you spend so many hours a day with, while we get to you know, play make believe, but do really hard work and do really good work.
yeah,
So yeah, man, excited for it, bro.
And I'm pretty excited as well. Now, let's go to season three because I think a big theme for this season, especially with all the material I've seen, is that the truth hurts. So I have a feeling that everyone's loyalty is going to be tested this season. What about the both of you?
You
you
go
want
ahead and
to
start us with that one, bro. Ah, okay.
you
All right. I mean, I think that's the beauty in friendship. I think that's the beauty in any sort of relationship, if you will, is there will always be ups and downs. But you know, you'll still have each other's back. Uh, you just gotta, you just gotta work through it. Everybody, while they're figuring out who they are and what they want, and everybody kind of has their own thing. So you can't be mad at somebody for who they are. You give them that grace and you keep it pushing, and y'all love on each other as it comes. That's it.
Would you like to add to that, Antonio?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. I feel that in any relationship, whether it be friendship, relationship, like with your significant other, family relationship, there's going to be ups and downs, And I feel that with any good relationship, there's going to be growth and there's going to be change. So even if there is that growth and change in any relationship between characters on the show, it's going to be for the overall benefit. And I feel that it's something that basically we have a lot of things on our show that are relatable, and I feel like that's one of the things that we play on that's very relatable.
Isn't that one of the like pinpoints of even regular power? You look at like Tommy and Ghost and how
Yeah,
through all the bullshit they went through, they still brothers and still had each other's backs
they
and
were like the
bled for
literal
each other in ways.
embodiment of yin and yang, and now it's repeating itself. So I definitely agree with that.
My final one for the both of you. How did y'all approach your characters for this season, especially since we're getting more and more into Kanan and Famous's mindset in this entire industry?
See, I'll be waiting for you to start these. All right, okay, boom. I mean, nah. Truthfully, you will still see the same exact relationship from Kanan and Famous that you've seen from day one. Kanan is a bit more of a hothead, and Famous is the one that kind of cools him out. No matter what's going on, they're kind of that yin and yang for real. And
Yeah,
that's really just what it is. That's what's happening no matter what between the two of them. Kanan has always known this about Famous, and Famous has always known this about Kanan type vibe.
yeah,
So they work their way through it.
definitely. I feel that I feel like there's always a balance in any relationship, and one person is always going to provide something to the friendship that the other person doesn't. So I feel that like between Kanan and Famous specifically, I feel like there's always going to be that balance where when pardon my French, when shit hits the fan, there's always going to be that one person that tries to stay around and keep everything grounded and make sure that you know that we don't lose our minds along the way. So I think that that's something that I went through going into season three, especially I say this a lot. Art imitates life, and
Yeah.
the way a lot of characters, not even just ours, but the way a lot of characters in the show are progressing is the way they would have progressed in real life. So if these characters were real, this would pretty much be how things went. So I'm pretty certain that not at all that things are just, predictable or expected, but just more so they're gonna make sense.
I see exactly what you mean. Thank both of you, Micaiah, Antonio. Hopefully we can link up soon.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
man. You already
got
know
you.
we're gonna get the rap life going.
How you doing, Patina? It's been a
I
while since I
agree.
last spoke with you.
I know, almost a year. Yeah, a year and some
Yeah,
change.
exactly.
But
I
here we
guess we,
are.
yes, gladly. I guess we shall get right into it. A huge theme for this season is about trust, and I have a feeling that a lot of characters' loyalty and trust will be tested. What said you, Patina? Do you have the same feeling when you came into the third season?
Yeah, I mean, we know that there's what we do know is, all of Rock's lies have caught up with her at this point. And where we pick up in the third season, there is no trust, right? The family is as fractured as they ever, as they ever been, right? Like they are more fractured. And Kanan, trust between Rock and Kanan is non-existent. And that's scary for a mother, to know that her son doesn't trust her at all. Kanan has been her best friend, who's been her everything, her whole world. And now we start this season where he wants nothing to do with her. And, you have to watch her deal with that, deal with all of those things while also business wise making the decision to reevaluate her place in this thing that she set up for herself. And so that's what the season is about.
What I'd like to also add to that because as Kane is also grown up and he's becoming more aware of a lot of the things, as you just said, with Rock. So, what kind of convos have you had with Mekai when it came to this character development?
I mean, Mekai and I are always talking. We always talk about ways to level up the relationship, what new things we can play. We're always playing with each other and we talk through every scene. I'm the type of actor, I like to talk it out. I like to talk about, what new things we can try this season, where they are in their relationship. And this season, because The Rock and Kanan relationship is so crazy. We didn't really have, there was a lot of moments where we didn't really have a lot of scenes together. And
Oh
a lot
man.
of our scenes were uh, they're very tense, and you go in the first and even kind of the second season when you've played all of this love between the two characters to finally be able to, you know, start to investigate what this new part of the relationship was. It was exciting, interesting, because at the end of the day, we're telling a story that is just so like specific and so many different things that it was kind of a joy to not to play the other stuff.
Yeah, I can really tell you I have a great bond whenever the both of you are on screen. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
a
yeah. And I love Mekai. Mekai is fantastic. I think he does fantastic work. He's always done fantastic work, and I'm excited for people to see him this season to see what he's done with the character. And he's just like right in it, right where he needs to be as Kanan. And I'm thrilled for people to see that.
my final one for you. Earlier it was announced that season four is in production. Y'all started to film real soon. So how excited are you once that announcement came out?
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I mean, I feel like we're just getting started as a crew, you know what I mean? We spent the first two seasons introducing these characters, getting people to get on board with new people in the universe. And so now that we have kind of set the foundation, you have your favorites, you have like everyone who loves Marvin, everyone who loves Lulu, everyone who loves Unique, everybody they really know the characters now. So now we can really go really deep into storytelling. And so I think we're just getting started. Season 3 comes out on Friday. We start season 4. I mean, it's exciting. I can't talk. It's an exciting time.
It's all good. I'm happy to speak with you, Patina. Hopefully we can link up real soon. I'm excited for this season, especially since New York City in the 90s was a damn war zone.
Yeah, right, right.
Hope
Crazy.
you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, you too.
How are both of you doing today? And Joey, it's good to speak with you again. I know you had a long day today.
Yeah. How you doing, Julian?
I'm good. I'm doing quite good. Wish we could talk about music right now, but we got to talk about Raising Kanan. So, the huge theme for this season that's coming up is trust. How will this affect both of your characters, especially since we're all finding out now that Unique has a brother?
Yeah, I think especially for me as Ronnie coming home, the only person in this world I think Ronnie trusts is Meek. He's the only person that probably kept up with him wherever he was, and then coming back home, the trust with the community has changed. Everything's different, and really the only person I have to rely on is family to kind of steer the ship of everything that's changed for me. And I think I'm just excited to be back and definitely in this power universe.
How about you, Joey?
Yeah, I think, when it comes to navigating the streets and the world of power, trust is something that is incredibly rare to find in this universe. You know what I'm saying? And I think everybody has their fair share of struggles, even when it's about the family, because like we saw in the last season between Uncle Lou's and Rock's characters. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're supposed to be brother and sister. And it seemed that, Lou can't even trust his own sister. You know what I'm saying? And I think Unique kind of faces the same challenges. Well, I feel like Ronnie kind of Unique and this new Unique Ronnie relationship kind of faced those same challenges, because Ronnie is clearly not pleased with the way that Unique has what he's done with the Empire. And I don't think that he necessarily trusts him to get what he wants to get done, to the point where he feels like he has to take matters into his own hands.
Now, Joey, how excited were you when you found out that we're going to learn more about the Unique character outside of the entire industry that he's in? Because you see that he has a brother, you see he has a family as well. So I think fans are really excited. But how excited are you?
Oh, I'm super excited. I mean, listen, I'm no longer the clear villain. So I'm no longer the guy that you gotta hate that you love. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty exciting for me. Also, I think that this season adds some new layers for Unique. We get to see a more vulnerable side of his character.
And for you, Coleman, how has the work-life balance been for you ever since you joined the cast? Because this is a huge show, and I can tell that this has been really big for you.
It's been amazing, man. Like the network, everybody on set, the producers, the directors, the cast. I feel like everyone takes care of each other really well on this show, and the amount of attention paid to detail, everybody cares. It's definitely one of the best work experiences I've ever had. I enjoy working on this show so much, and it started with this brother on the other side of the screen. Joey's he's been the best little brother I could have.
And I'll add one more. Earlier it was announced that it got renewed for season 4. So this is quite good news, especially since it's the first Power spinoff to get 4 seasons. So how did both of you react to it when they came out?
True, actually, not true. Ghost.
That's
Ghost.
right, Ghost.
Yeah, yeah. But it's been amazing, to answer the question. I think that, it's an incredible opportunity to be a part of this series. I mean, we're incredibly blessed to be able to be running 4 seasons long, for people to be that invested into the story. We're gonna have to see what happens. I'm just happy for the production as a whole, though.
Yeah, I'm just happy to tell the story. Season 4, baby, I'm coming.
Yes. Thank the both of you for your time today. I wish we could speak longer, but hopefully we can link up real soon.
No doubt. Take care, Julie.
You too. How are you doing today, Shane?
Good. How are you, Julian?
I'm good. It's been a while since we last spoke.
A little bit.
I guess we shall get right into it. A big theme for this season of Raising Kanan is all about trust. How will this affect your character?
It's a good question. She's probably the least trusting person at the beginning of season 3. She's got a lot of questions for everyone, and she's just going through her endless pursuit of the truth, and really not letting anyone in and get through her head. So she's starting the season very distrustful.
Yeah, because I could really tell because every character for this season, I have a feeling that something's going to really, really blow up. Would you say the same?
I would say the same. I would say a lot of things happen this season. A lot of things blow up in people's faces.
Now, since you've been part of the show since very first season, is there any particular moments that really stood out to you since you've been on?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed working with Omar, and I've also enjoyed the relationship between Jukebox and Shannon, and seeing how that has gone through this really complicated winding web. Those have been some of my favorite scenes, is just the relationship with Omar's character and the relationship with Haley's character. Those stand out to me.
Going back to your character, I feel like on the last season we kind of learned more about her outside of the police force, and going into this season, it's going to be quite interesting to see how and where she ends up. So, what was the approach of going to this season, learning about everything about this character along with the people she learned about?
I mean, this season picks up right at the end of season 2, and she's not ending her pursuit of proving that she is right with all of her thoughts about Howard and the Thomas family. So she really picks up. There's not been no time lost, and she's picking up right where she left off with her pursuit to prove everyone that she's right.
Reminds me of Cooper Saxe on the original Power. He would do anything he can to get at Ghost's family.
I know, it's very similar. It's very similar. There's always got to be one. It's a cat and mouse game on this show.
And my final one for you, of all the spinoffs and the original show, which one can you say is your favorite?
Raising Kanan. It's my favorite, and I know I'm biased, but the music is so good. The music is so good. It's so epic. I can't. That's really why is the music, and our amazing cast, and our amazing sets, and our amazing clothes and hair and makeup and writing. But other than those many things, just the music is my favorite.
Thank you so much for your time, Shaylee. Hope we can link up soon, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day today.
Thank you, Julian. Have a good one.
You too. Speak with you again, Sasha.
Julian, good to see you, man.
Yeah, same here. Before we get to the 3rd season, it was nuts earlier that the show got picked up for a 4th season. So how are you feeling about this?
I feel good. I'm excited. I mean, I think, obviously we're coming out of a pretty long work stoppage here. And so the fact that we can get back to work and work on a season 4 is very excited. And I'm incredibly grateful, to our partners at Starz and Lionsgate for letting us do that. It's a privilege to do this for a living. And it's not one that I take lightly, or I think anyone who works on the show takes lightly. So it's exciting.
Yes, and I'm excited as well, as you could tell. Now, a big theme for this season, and I got to ask the cast this earlier, but a big theme for this season is about trust. How did y'all approach this from a writer/showrunner perspective for each of the characters?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great point. And I think you could sort of say that about the series in general, right? Like, trust is a huge part of what we're exploring, sort of, trust, distrust, and I think you really see that play out quite a bit between Kanan and Rock, especially in season 3. I think he's starting to see his mother, frankly, in a way he hasn't seen her before. She's sensing that, which makes her very uneasy. She starts to make choices to maybe sort of correct for that. But definitely, as I always say, this is a family drama. And I think when you look at any family, both in real life and on TV, trust is a huge part of, and broken trust is a huge part of that dynamic. And so, I think absolutely across our third season, each of these characters is sort of going through an existential crisis where they're trying to figure out who they are individually and within the context of the family. And part of that is them figuring out who they can trust, and in some cases, whether they can even trust themselves. So that is absolutely a big theme for not just this season, but I think every season.
Now, going into this season, was there any changes to approach on the storytelling compared to what we got in season 2, which I thought was really great?
Oh, well, thank you. I think, Julian, really it's, we have some new characters that we introduce. Ronnie, played by Grantham Coleman, Snaps and Pop, played by Wendell Pierce and Erica Woods, respectively. I mean, I think the storytelling and the pacing of the storytelling basically remains pretty consistent from season 2. I think, we do a deeper dive into each of these characters' psyches, I mean, I think, and I think that's something that our audience enjoys. I think they're invested in these characters and they want to know more about them. And I think, especially through some of the new characters, we get a sense of our characters' pasts and histories and all the rest of that, which is interesting, So I think the storytelling again remains somewhat consistent, but what I do think we do is we get a deeper dive into each of our characters and sort of what makes them who they are.
Yeah, I can really tell, especially with the trailer that came out. I'm like, who's going to be on whose side this time?
Right. Exactly.
And my final one for you, compared to shows in the past that you've worked on, for Raising Kanan, did you see a difference of the challenges when it comes to creating the story?
I mean, I think one of the challenges is that it's a period piece. That's always going to be a challenge. And what I mean by that is, like, we want to do a credit or a service to the era in which this show is set, and we don't want it to feel fake or like, we're just like, there's a lot of artifice there. So that's always a challenge, with its wardrobe, dialogue, music, all that stuff is always going to be a challenge. I think also part of the challenge is that this is part of the Power universe. And of the Power universe series, this is the only one that doesn't have characters from the original Power, right? Like, we don't have Tommy, we don't have Tariq. So I think that is a challenge in that we were introducing our audience to a completely new world, new characters, new story. And that, I think, early on definitely was something that our audience sort of had to sort of embrace. And I think fortunately they did. And here we are. But yeah, I mean, I think that was definitely something early on that we had to reckon with a little bit.
Yeah, the show has turned out very successful, and I'm happy to see it grow.
Thank you so much, Julian. Really appreciate you, man.
You're welcome. I'm happy to speak with you today. I know you got a very long day today.
I do, but it's great talking to you, man. And I really appreciate you taking the time.
No problem. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You do the same.
It's great to speak with all of you again. And Haley, that reminds me, I need to get my Christmas tree ASAP.
It's time. It's time.
It is time. And it's also time for the upcoming premiere of Raising Kanan's third season. But before we do, it was announced earlier that it got picked up for a fourth season. So how are all three of you feeling?
Hey, you know what? Working ain't bad. If I that's why I have to slow down sometimes. If I find myself fussing about, the traffic or anything, I have to really just slow down, put it in perspective, man. Because again, working is working, and again, just to do another season and to be on a hit show. When I put it in perspective that way, it's I think we're blessed, man.
How about you, Haley?
It's exciting. I think the last 6 months we were all like rearing to go. We were like, okay, like let's start let's start now. And now it's here.
I know.
So I'm really, really excited, and I love this crew, and we have a really good time. So it's a blessing.
Right. So I believe a major theme for this upcoming season is trust. How's that going to come into play for all three of your characters for the season?
Should I think? Oh, am I muted? Oh no. Okay. I think as far as my character and trust, without giving away too much, I think Marvin has, because of therapy, he had leaned into more trust than he did the previous season. So I'll just say that much.
How about you, Malcolm?
I feel like Lulu's his trust has been fractured irreparably at this point. That's why he is where he is in the season, because he just they did him wrong, and now it's been infected. Like, being a distrustful person becomes infectious, because then I end up not being a trustworthy person to my favorite niece here, and not being any use to London, but definitely not to Jukebox. So yeah, it's pretty sad on my side.
To add to that, Haley?
Yeah, I think the past couple seasons have been about a lot of people kind of ultimately breaking Juke's trust, right? And I think the cool thing that we're starting to move into is she's like, all right, you let me down, on to the next. Okay, I guess I'm gonna do it, And so it's she's growing up, she's maturing, and she's learning that she really has to maybe not lean on the people that she's used to as much as she did before. And there are some new people that she discovers, oh yeah, you're all right, without giving too much away. But yeah, it's quite a shift this season.
That's something I want to get to next. The family dynamic between all three of you has really stood out for me for the last season. Is this dynamic going to change for this upcoming season?
Yes.
Yeah. I think absolutely. Even that's the cool thing about this show, is I think the writers are really good for taking the audience down one path, so everyone feels like they kind of know the story, and then you look up and you like, oh, I didn't see that coming, and that was a plot twist. That character joined in, and he's related to that person. So the way they set up the way they've set up the family dynamic, like you say, even with just the dynamic between Marvin and Lou, a lot of people thought, I thought it was definitely going to be the reverse, and then that happened, and then you got the trusting side of Marvin and Juke turning around. It's so many, and then even with Rock, the writers are just good for they made a gumbo of plots and twists. And so even with that dynamics, I think they're always constantly changing, either for the positive or for the not so positive.
Yeah, that's true. Our relationship is inverted. I think everything that people thought that Marvin's character was, Lulu then becomes, especially in this season. Like, we've heard about Marvin's fabled battle with addiction, right? And I think that in this season, we get to see Lulu empathize with that a little bit more on a personal level, without giving away too much. But yeah, they've completely role reversed. He's the one letting Juke down. He's the one not showing up. Like, it's a pretty big point.
Oh, that's a good point.
And my next one for all of you, the season finale of season 2 was a bloodbath. We saw deaths of many characters, including Jukebox's mom. So will we see any of these characters grieve on the fact that they lost too many people in the season finale of season 2?
Yeah, Jukebox will grieve until the end of days. Okay, I was telling everyone else, I was like, my tear ducts hurt. Yeah, it's dang, I don't want to get fired, so I don't answering too much. But yeah, it's really interesting. The ways that we are used to seeing how characters handle things in the past has completely changed. For some people, it's for the better, and for some people, I think it's maybe not so good.
London and Malcolm, y'all want to add to that?
No, she just. I didn't appreciate that shade that she just threw. I didn't appreciate that. All right, now you ain't gonna be coming for Lulu too much in this month. But she's right. Some people are not so much for the better. She's right. That's all I can say. What about
I think I think these characters, because the way they're layered, like Marvin's gonna always feel something for the fact that he lost his therapist and stuff like that. So that's going to mean something. And also, even with his ex Kenya, so maybe there's something within Marvin still connected to that from season 2 that we may see, in this next season.
Thank all of you for your time today. Been a fan of the show since the start. Can't wait for the premiere of the season 3. I guess we shall get right to it. Hard Book 3 Raising Kanan is coming back this week, and the last season ended on a cliffhanger. So what was your approach to this season, especially since Sal's gang is on war with Rock's gang?
Well, I wish it was my idea. I'm just taking what they're giving me, and I'm trying to interpret it. But I think he has some stuff he has to get done this year, and he does. By the way, that's what I like about him. He's very effective. He really, it's one of the things I like about the character. It's not only that he's powerful, but he's kind of smart, kind of sees, like areas where he can make inroads into people psychologically, even, like, for instance, Marvin in between and Rock, getting in between Marvin and Rock.
This goes to my next question. The relationship between Sal's gang is quite up there, especially with how we saw on the last season. For this season, how much do you think things will be intensified?
Oh, it's what the show does. I mean, the show is intense, and that's what I really like about it. I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting. I can't wait to do. I'm working Monday with London Brown, and I can't wait to do the scene. So that's what the show does. It just keeps that momentum going, and this year is this season is no different. I mean, it grows and grows, and I'm really excited about where it ends up.
Oh, I can't wait for that one. And going for my final one, are there any particular episodes this season that really stood out to you?
You mean the past season or this season?
This upcoming one.
No, the upcoming one. Well, I'm in 5, and the five that I really like the last show. Again, going back to where we end up at the end of the year, at the end of the season, I really, really enjoyed playing that last episode. So again, there's probably other people have a better view of which show is the best, but the one I cop to is that last one.
Thank you so much for your time, Tony. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day today. Can't wait for the season to premiere.
Okay, Julian, take care.